Hey, John here, and this is going to be the painful and sometimes long manual method of finding expired domains. So I've gone through a couple relatively easy ways of finding some expired domains, and this is, and then I'll go through some more advanced stuff in the future here, but this is kind of at the root of how we, based on sort of just the bare bones strategy, how you can go using only free tools and see what kind of domains are available. So it's a very long process, so I'm going to be pausing this video throughout, but bear with me. So the basic strategy here is we want to go onto Google and then do a search and try and find as many authoritative long lists that are relevant to your niche as possible. So a couple examples. So we're sticking with the gourmet niche. So if we type in gourmet, so gourmet restaurants, and it'll pop some things up here too that we want to include that may be worth including. So gourmet blog list, and then we want as old as possible. So you can do custom search, but I find this easier to do. Just go negative 2013, negative 2012. It's not perfect, but it will influence the search results to show older than 2009. So what we're looking for is out of date websites that have a whole bunch of links on them. So this looked pretty good. The only problem is it's PR 0. So the higher the PR, generally the better for what we're looking for, but might be worth running through. So I'm going to go through a whole bunch here, try and open up a few, and then I'll pause this, go through a few searches. I'll probably do gourmet blog list, gourmet website list, gourmet restaurant list, directory no list. Go through a bunch and then try and pick out kind of 5, and I'll come back here and hopefully not too long and show you what I've come across. Okay, I'm back. I'm looking through, finding as many sites as possible that I'll be able to run through Zenu link sleuth, which I'll talk about in a minute. So it took me about 15 minutes there. I also had to go help out with the baby for a bit. So I'm back now, but here are some of the sites that I found. So this is ideally a higher page rank and more links, but this is the kind of site you're looking for. Something that clearly hasn't been updated in a very long time. It says 1985. That may be when the site was made. I don't know. It looks obviously pretty old. Obviously not 85, but yeah, so it's clearly a very old site that will probably have a couple broken links on here. Big directory list that's very relevant. Might have a few broken links in there. This guy, I don't think it's going to be worth running through. It's PR 0. So you're looking for a page rank, a higher page rank. It's a good indicator of authority. It's not the end-all be-all, but it is a good indicator. And you're looking for sites that are usually older and haven't been updated. So that usually translates into ugly. So an ugly site with a lot of links that has high PR. Case in point, this guy is what you're looking for. And then any kind of niche-specific directories, even if it has a lower PR like this one, it's PR 2, but it has clearly it's a well-moderated directory. It may still be active, I'm not sure. It says right here 2008, so it probably means it hasn't been really active since 2008. So we'll find some broken links there. Yahoo directory, if there's a very relevant one, is good. I'm not going to run it because it gets crawled a lot, and there won't be any sort of hidden gems there. And then any sort of network or industry association that links out to a lot of people is good. So this one will be a good site to run through based on some of the link pages that it has. The only problem is it's pretty current, it looks like, and it may not have very many broken links on it. So what I'm going to do now is just take all these, every one of these URLs, and put them into a text document. So just hit delete all there. So that's why I had to go back to those 3. So I got those 3. and then just one URL per line. And then you can save it, the home page itself, or you can search the page with all the links. So I like to go, if it's a sort of specific site that I'm targeting, like here, that if any of these are broken, then that would be excellent. There's not very many there, so that's probably unlikely. So I'm targeting that page specifically, or you can target the entire website. But this website looks way too current to target the whole site. So there we have it. There's the list of the pages that we're going to get the app that we're about to open called Zenu to go and crawl. So the next step here is, now that we have a few sites, is to look at installing this Zenu link sleuth. So that's what we want to install. I have installed here, so I'm going to go ahead, open it up, and show you what we need to do next. Okay, so now that Zenu is installed, we need to go in here and we need to check the URL list. So we've got that URL list that we had created. So we open it here, search wherever you had saved that list as a text file. First I should show you the settings that I run with in Zenu. So I won't go through each one of these, just set this up the same and you'll be good. If it's taking too long, you can play with this maximum depth. And that's really it. It's a very efficient tool at what it does, and I'll show you right now here what it does. So you open up the text file that had those 5 to 10 URLs in them that you'd found, and then what this is doing now is checking every link on those sites that you had provided, and it's looking for these no such hosts. Those are the ones that we're trying to find. It means that it went to try and find that host and it was not there. So here's an example of a no such host. We're not going to do this the way that I'm showing you here, but this is just one quick example. So at Chew, I like to use Namecheap to check if the domain's available. There's a bulk backlink checker, but just for this example, I'm going to use this guy. So it's not available. I'll check a couple other ones just for interest's sake here. Again, I'll walk through shortly here a much more efficient way of going through this, even with a manual process. But this is just out of curiosity's sake to kind of get a sampling of what the quality of those domains are going to be. So here's one that they link, one of those pages that we entered linked to. It's available for registering, and we're going to go head over to Majestic SEO and just see what kind of quality of domain we found. So it looks like the only link on the entire web that points to this domain is the one at one of the sites that we picked up. So that's not a great initial sample, but we'll let Zenu do its thing here, and as you can see here, every time I hit status, it's showing a few more. So not very many right now. Not too happy with this result yet, but we're only 16% done. So I'm going to pause this video and let this continue to spin away. Hi, John back here, and we've got the Zenu Link Sleuth report has finished now finally. Took a long time, took 5 hours to run. It's usually faster than that. Zenu is just being a little bit slow. So we've got not as many domains as we like, but hopefully we've got some quality ones in here. So I'm going to go and show you how to take this result and turn it into some actionable information. So we want to export to tab separated file, save. I'll just drop it in my desktop here, and we'll call this Gourmet 1, and then I'm going to open it. Now it's being opened. This is the first screen that's going to show up. You want to go eliminated and space, just like this. Hit finish. And then you want to go to data here, filter, status. We're looking for the no such host. And now these are the domains that we're going to want to clean up and then check the availability. So I like to add in a few columns here. So we're going to call it available, and we'll just put yes or no there, and then just a quick, we'll look at page authority, and we'll look at citation flow and trust flow from Majestic SEO. So first step here is to clean these all up. So we don't have too many of them, so what I'll do with this list is just delete the ones that I know I wouldn't register. So any of these kind of subdomains like this, we want to get rid of. So there's some tricks you can do if you're good at Excel, or you can just go through and manually do it. So the manual method, it sucks. There's no way around it. So you're looking to blow away all the subdomains, so kmiller.ecorp.net. So anything that is a subdomain we want to get rid of, and we want to trim anything back to the root domain only. So we didn't, luckily, at least for this, we didn't have a very long list. And then if there's any extensions that you know you're not going to register, like .edu, .gov, you know you're not going to be able to register those, so there's no point in sort of analyzing them. Okay, so we'll remove the blanks. And here's our list. And again, not very many of them. We've got 34 to look at, and we'll see what we come up with. So I'm going to grab just a list of, trick here is to sort A to Z, and also get rid of the HTTP and get rid of the www. So I'm going to do Control F and replace. Find what we want to get rid of, HTTP. And replace with, just hit space. So it's done. And then we want to do the same with www and dot. We want to get rid of the dot as well. Replace all. There we go. So now we've got all these domains trimmed to their root, which is what we want. And we're going to sort them A to Z. We have. We'll select 20 to keep it easy, and then head over to Namecheap bulk domain register check, see if it's available, hit search. So we got a couple available, and so we want to go back to the list and say whether or not they're available. So they should be in order now, so we'll look down to the C's. Yes. Ignore me. Yes. So I'll keep doing this and then be right back with you. Okay, so I've gone through and I found all the domains that are available. So the count, we only ended up with 10. So this is a smaller list than I'm typically dealing with. Usually you're dealing with a couple hundred if when you're sort of doing this at a larger scale. So now I've sorted to the domains that are available. So then we'll select all of them. We'll head over to Majestic SEO, the bulk backlink checker here at Majestic SEO. Enter them in. That space seems to be causing us some grief, so get rid of that in case it causes any problems. And then no sorting, keeping the original order, and then check the backlinks. And then we want to look at any of the ones that are showing up reasonable. So we really only have 2, and yeah, not a great list right now. So these clearly don't have very good backlink profiles, this top group, and then these bottom 2 seem to be a little bit better. So we'll open these up in this button, in the new tab, any of the ones we want to have a look at, and then I'll dig into these in a little more detail. So then we look for where the links are coming from the most, like which domain here has the highest citation and trust flow, and then we'll dive into that a little bit more. So arts and the ins, we've got citation flow 16, trust flow 17. Some clearly natural backlink profile, so I'm just going to record these numbers. Citation flow 16, trust flow 17. 16, 17. And then we'll look at the next one here, and the other thing to note there is referring domains is over 10, so I'd like to see that as well. The coffee blog, best metrics are 11 and 17, so that's pretty bad. 17 and 11. So we'll head over to Moz and have a quick look at the metrics there. To open Site Explorer. And see what it says as far as the page authority is. So 21 page authority is definitely too low. So the gourmet coffee blog is no good. We'll have a look at artsandtheins.com. Page authority 39, linking root domains over 12. That's reasonable. So this one has met the metrics for an acceptable domain. Last check would be to go to archive.org, enter the old URL, have a quick look at what the site used to be. So this is a nice thing to see too, where it was just, it's nicer when this is more recent, but when it's clearly only been owned once. So if you're looking for a gourmet, if you're trying to increase the rankings of a gourmet site and you use this domain, it will provide some SEO benefit. It's not a slam dunk, but it's definitely a useful site. So I'll call this test done, and for some more advanced methods, have a look at some of the videos that will be coming up here shortly.